Nigeria's strides in fertilizer production excites President Buhari.
With our mega urea production facilities, Nigeria is definitely a player in the urea space.
Enough of the blackout. House of Reps tells Power Ministry to explore alternative source of energy.
The federal government needs to take a cue from other countries and seek other means of generating power, such as coal-fired power plants.
Plus, mobile phones cut off. Operators effective bar on non-linked SIM cards.
There are two ways of submitting your NIN for the SIM linkage. Either you submit it to the telecommunication provider or you use the mobile app.
Hello and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Ian Ray John, live in Abuja. Hingino John Adams joins us from Lagos, while Susan Amali is in Mokodi. Many thanks for joining us. And it's good to know that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on our YouTube channel, NTA News Online. Our Twitter handle is at NTA News Now. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News. Instagram handle is NTA Network for updates. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed the conviction that Nigeria is on its way to becoming Africa's fertilizer powerhouse, granting audience to the Executive Committee members of the Fertilizer Producers and Suppliers Association of Nigeria. The president said already the country is a global player in the urea space. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo brings us details.
Every nation to have peace and prosperity, its economy must be inclusive.
For Nigeria, a predominantly agrarian nation, President Buhari said having an inclusive economy meant prioritizing the enhancement of the nation's agricultural value chain. And with fertilizer being an indispensable input towards achieving food security, various interventions, including the presidential fertilizer initiatives, have been developed to support the fertilizer industry so as to make the commodity available and accessible to farmers.
A key indicator of how successful our policies are is the fact that we had no shortage of fertilizers during the COVID lockdowns. Today, I am pleased to hear that we will not have any shortages in Nigeria because of the Eastern European conflicts that has impacted the global fertilizer trade. All these trends indicate our backward integration policy was the right policy.
In the last 5 years, over 114 billion naira has been injected into the fertilizer industry, thereby significantly increasing the number of blending plants from 7 operating at 10% of their installed capacity to 70.
And with our mega urea production facilities, Nigeria is definitely a player in the urea space. I would therefore like to thank members of the Fertilizer Producers Association once again for this very patriotic backward integration project. Through these investments, you are double blessed as you are making profits and bring prosperity to millions of Nigerians working in the agricultural value chain.
For the Association of Fertilizer Producers and Suppliers, FEPSAN, its success in climbing to the next level is not only evident by the number of factories commissioned, but also by the many pyramids of rice, maize, and other crops dotting the landscape.
Today, many nations who rely on fertilizer import are facing acute fertilizer shortage. Nigeria remains one of the few countries in Africa and indeed the world where fertilizer availability is not an issue. Mr. President, for the 2022 wet season, I would like to declare to you and all Nigerians that FEPSTAN is ready, willing, and able to ensure fertilizer are available in all the parts of the country. Nigeria should not panic. Your Excellency, the CBN currently has a balance of stock of fertilizer from the last planting season under the bank's Anchor Borrowers Program to the tune of 1.95 million bags of fertilizer and have committed additional 2.6 million bags for use during our 2022 program. For that reason, we are optimistic that fertilizer will be available to our own smallholder farmers at considerably reduced prices.
Under the Anchor Borrowers Program, Mr. Emefiele said the Central Bank of Nigeria has so far disbursed over 941 billion naira to 4.2 million smallholder farmers cultivating 21 agricultural commodities on 5.4 million hectares of land across Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And away from agriculture, Senate has passed the bill that seeks to extend the implementation of the capital component of the 2021 budget. The National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
A bill for an act.
The 2021 Appropriation Act Amendment Bill was the first bill that passed first reading at Tuesday's plenary. But because of its urgency, Senate suspended its rules and also passed it for second and third reading the same day. The bill presented by Leader of the Senate, Yahaya Abdullahi, is to extend the implementation from 31st of March to 31st of May 2022 to ensure the completion of all ongoing projects.
That in 2021, there was a availment of the aggregate sum of 276 billion, along with 100% relief of the 2021 capital budget of the NDH.
This government, when it came to power, it did what was a bit unusual by going ahead to complete even projects that we inherited. So there is compelling need to really extend the implementation of 2021 budget
from 31st March 2022 to 31st May 2022
to ensure that we achieved 100% budget implementation like we did in the 2020 Appropriation Act.
Senate passed the Federal Polytechnic Orozo Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Philip Aduda, and the National Human Rights Commission Repeal and Reenactment Bill, sponsored by Senator Opeyemi Bamidele.
To provide for the establishment of the National Human Rights Fund in the national budget.
The bill that seeks to establish the National Industrial Park, sponsored by Senator Ibikunle Amosun. The Federal College of Agriculture Ise Orun Ekiti State Establishment Bill by Senator Biodun Olujimi, and the Federal University of Agriculture Ogoja Cross River State Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Jaribe Agom Jaribe, passed second reading.
Industrial parks have the ability to exploit the local potential in supporting knowledge-based business development.
When established, will provide for the holistic development of agricultural education,
to identify the agricultural needs of the society with a view to finding solutions to them with a context of overall national development.
Senator Sani Musa drew the attention of the Senate to the bandit attack in Guni, Munya local government area of Niger State, which led to the death of 20 fleeing persons in a boat mishap, as he canvassed support for victims. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
And still in the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has asked relevant authorities to explore utilization of alternative sources of electricity generation and supply in the country to curb constant outages and the resultant negative impact on the economy. House members observed that despite increases in tariff and load shedding, power supply has not improved. National Assembly correspondent Lamiele reports that the issue was raised by the House Chief Whip during plenary.
Mohammed Tahir Bunguno, Chief Whip of the House, said the lack of adequate power supply is affecting businesses and livelihoods, both of which are indicators of low economic performance. The House urged the federal government to upgrade power infrastructure for efficiency.
The federal government needs to take a cue from other countries and seek other means of generating power, such as coal-fired power plants, wind and solar, among others.
The National Assembly, in the Constitution review, amending that section of the Constitution that makes it possible for the states to exercise function regarding to electricity.
House members also called for intervention of the government on the increasing price of diesel following a motion from Chike Okafor.
That the hike in the cost of diesel is alleged to be the handiwork of unscrupulous stakeholders in the industry and is tantamount to economic sabotage, as it will result in an increase in prices of food, goods, and services.
A motion from Armayawa Abdul Qadir drawing attention derived from unlawful activities. 11 bills passed first reading, while 3 were read the third time and passed. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And still in the Green Chamber, Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajagbeamila says far-reaching resolutions that will improve the security situation of the country have been made. This is coming after about 4 hours closed-door meeting with the nation's service chiefs. National Assembly correspondent Dayo Ogunshola reports.
For the second time in 1 week, the House of Representatives is engaging in high-level consultations in response to the security challenges in Kaduna State, particularly the March 28 train attack. Before going into an executive session, the leadership of the House set an agenda for the meeting.
The primary aim of any government is to protect life and property, and this is our core mandate.
Because we cannot secure ourselves, we cannot secure the economy, we cannot secure the social well-being of Nigerians. So security is perhaps the most important thing on the agenda right now.
After 4 hours behind the doors, Speaker Femi Gbajagbeamila briefed the media.
We're talking about the all-important issue of whether or not there are elements within the military themselves that we need to deal with the issue of moles, like some have stated. We talked about training and retraining. We talked about the issue of capacity and allowances. We talked about several things. A lot of them, like I said, touch on security, and I'm not at liberty at this point. But for us to have been in there for 4 or 5 hours, you must know that we made some good headway.
From the National Assembly, Dayo Ogunshola, NTA News.
And still on security, Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya has lauded efforts of troops of Operation Hiding K for recovering cache of weapons, vehicles and other equipment from Boko Haram terrorists during recent ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the Northeast Theater of Operations. General Farouk commended the troops while inspecting the recovered weapons at the Maimalari cantonment in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Maimuna Garba reports.
Following intense ongoing operations Desert Sanity and Lake Sanity in the Northeast Theater of Operation, troops of Operation Hiding Kai recovered different caliber of weapons, ammunition, MRAP, MOWAC, gun trucks, medical equipment and communication gadgets, among others, in the inventory of the terrorists. The arms and weapons were mostly recovered from Sambisa Forest, Timbuktu Triangle and around the Mandra Mountains, among other locations within the theater. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya said recovery of the weapons and equipment is an indication of the military's commitment to ending the insurgency.
The weapons that were captured from these terrorists speak for themselves, and we cannot but appreciate the troops what they are doing and urge them to do even more. I'm very impressed with the commitment and zeal I am seeing in the theater and indeed across all theaters of our operations.
While urging the troops to do more, General Farouk emphasized that the army is determined to defeat the insurgent and restore lasting peace across all crisis areas.
Our call to all these terrorists and bandits and criminals is to know that the time is against them. And the earlier they toe the line of peace, the better. Otherwise, we will get them.
In recent times, troops of Operation Hiding Kai have continued to record successes in the efforts to dislodge the terrorist element. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Time for a first break. Please stay.
Making music for you is so easy for me to do. But you know what else is super easy to do? Linking your NIN to your Glow line by dialing *109 *NIN hash. Or I can call 109 from my Glow line and follow the instructions. And if I don't want to call, I can text my NIN to 109. I can even visit glowworld.com/NIN. And what if you've forgotten your NIN? All you have to do is dial *346# and Glow will help you remember it. Someone may ask, what if I haven't registered? All you have to do is go into the nearest Glow World and we'll help you register. It's that easy. So don't get disconnected from all of the amazing voice and data offers from Glow. Linking your NIN to your Glow lines is simple, safe, and 100% free with zero hassles.
The Honorable Minister of Transportation, Right Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, and the Honorable Minister of State for Transportation, Senator Gbemisola Rukaya Saraki, are inviting the general public and stakeholders to the 2021 Ministerial Press Briefing scheduled to hold as follows. Date, Thursday, 7th April 2022. Venue, National Press Center, Radio House, Garki, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Dr. Magdalene Ajani, Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Transportation, Announcer.
Our new toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Why are we changing our toothpaste?
Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity-free.
When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity. Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in
teeth cavity.
No more ghetto band. No.
Enjoy carbo choco, fortified with Vita-Rich plus iron.
Dear friend, how are you? I can smell the goodness of Easter around you. But wait a minute. Do you know you can enjoy Easter in luxurious comfort like never before? Because this Easter, Bedmates Furniture invites you to discover new levels of comfort with furniture that brings life to your home. Seriously, now is your last chance to have a memorable Easter and beyond. From 21st March to 20th April 2022, get furniture you love at unbelievable low prices with free gifts in our showrooms. Hurry now before others choose the finest units you want.
Did you know that a quarter of the world's deaths from malaria is in Nigeria? And the reason being a mosquito that spreads malaria, a disease that puts everyone's life in distress. We believe that protection and prevention is the best cure in the fight to end malaria. Morphine insecticide with its improved formulation kills 100% mosquitoes that spread malaria. So spread the message of how we can fight to end malaria with Morphine. Morphine, our #1 choice.
Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, and Voice of Nigeria, VON, cordially invite general public to the 16th Annual Ramadan Lecture. Topic, Social Media, Effect on Morality. Guest speakers, Professor Ishak Olariwaju Oloyede, Registrar, Joint Admission Matriculation Board, and Professor Ismail Shehu, Department of Political Science, ABU Zaria, under the chairmanship of Architect Muhammad Namadi Sambo, GCON, former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Special guest of honor, Right Honorable Oladimeji Bankole, former Speaker, House of Representatives. Royal Father of the Day, His Highness Ambassador Ahmed Nur Bamali, Emir of Zazzau. Chief Host, His Excellency Malan Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State. Hosts, Malan Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, Director General NTA, Dr. Mansur Liman, Director General FRCN, and Osita Okechukwu, Director General Voice of Nigeria. Date, Saturday, 9th April 2022. Venue, Lumana Multipurpose Center, River Close, off Jabi Road East, Kaduna. Time, 9 a.m. Inshallah. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
Thank you for staying. Let's now talk politics. The Presidential Zoning Committee of the People's Democratic Party has concluded sitting in Abuja with the resolve to convey its final decision to the party's National Executive Committee. Correspondent Timothy Yusuf reports that the chairman of the 37-member committee and governor of Benue State, Mr. Samuel Autumn, said the position taken is definitely in the interests of the PDP.
For our teaming supporters of the PDP and Nigerians is that we have resolve. And every one of us, the 37 members, unanimously adopted the position we are going to present to next.
The PDP Presidential Zoning Committee was inaugurated at the last National Executive Committee of the party to look into where the presidential ticket of the party be zoned to in the overall interests of all. Meanwhile, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says despite being genuinely aggrieved about the way and manner his supporters have been treated by the Kwara State Governor and his supporters against the backdrop of their immeasurable contributions to the massive victory of the party in the state in 2019, leaving the party is not the solution. A statement personally signed by the minister says the reports that his supporters are defecting to the Social Democratic Party is untrue. It says, having taken the grievances of the supporters to the highest level of party and with the belief that everything will be done to address them and unite the party ahead of the 2023 elections, the minister appeals to those who may have left to reconsider their stance and return to their natural habitat. Lai Mohammed says, as a founding member and someone who has toiled endlessly to build the APC, as well as worked with stakeholders to deliver Kwara State to the APC, he will always remain loyal. He once again urged the leadership of the party to urgently and decisively address issues that have forced some members of the party in Kwara State to contemplate leaving for another party. Elsewhere, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says local governance in Nigeria remains relevant for the enthronement of an enduring democracy and bringing about development at the grassroots. The minister stated this at a presentation he made to participants of Senior Executive Course 44 of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru, Jos, when they visited him during their study tour to the ministry. Anthony Forson brings us details.
With Nigeria currently operating a governance structure that consists of 3 tiers, federal government, state government, and local government at the bottom of the ladder, Lai Mohammed chronicled the history of local governments in Nigeria dating back to 1861 during the colonial rule, but expressed dissatisfaction with their non-performance over the years.
Unfortunately, the local government system, which provides the political, institutional, and financial structure for driving local governance, has underperformed due to a myriad of challenges, some inherent and others extraneous.
The usurpation of local government functions is another area of concern.
In practice, local governments are not totally free from the control of the state and federal governments. The power and authority they enjoy is relative. This is because responsibilities are shared between national, state, and local governments for the provision of services mostly dictated by political interests and policy-related agenda.
Of paramount importance, the minister noted, is the need for full autonomy for local governments to make them effective. Leader of the delegation, Dr. Ibrahim Choji, told the minister that the course participants are from the nation's apex think tank who are groomed to contribute in shaping government policies.
Every year, Mr. President approves a topic for study for the participants. So, for this year, the topic of interrogation is strengthening local governance in Nigeria, challenges, opportunities, and options.
A member of Course 43, Kachalam Shukti, Daju has just been promoted and now a permanent secretary designate. In rejoicing with her, participants of Course 44 described her as hardworking and very resourceful. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
In other news, following the failure of the National Assembly to give assent to women affirmation bills for participation in politics in recent weeks, the Minister of Women Affairs has expressed the firm belief that Nigerian women will enjoy more support in the political field in the nearest future. She stated this when she received a team from the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, in Abuja. The UNDP team is exploring key areas of needs for women, such as gender equality, fair contest, determining necessary piece of legislation in order to form recommendations of the United Nations leadership. The minister describes the visit as timely and further advocates protection of women's rights.
The national assemblies are the ones that are really making an impact. And therefore, I think when we see what women are doing in their constituency, that alone is enough for you to don't know because the percentage of women participation is too low.
Pauline Talon also highlighted the need for girl-child education support from the United Nations Development Programme. The UNDP team, led by Surge Kabwimana, senior political and electoral officer, came from New York by the special request of the Minister of Women Affairs at the United Nations to enable them devise ways of assisting Nigerian women. Now heading to Kaduna, the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, says military must be deployed to confront terror groups threatening corporate existence of the country. He was speaking in Kaduna when he paid a sympathy visit to the government and people of Kaduna State over recent attacks on Abuja-Kaduna Railway. Umar Ajinge reports.
The national leader of the APC was in Kaduna to sympathize with the state government over the attack on Abuja-Kaduna train. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu expressed sympathy to the victims, describing the act of terror group as barbaric. He said those who attacked the train deserve no mercy in dealing with them. Tinubu called for coordinated military action in rescuing those abducted by the bandits.
Whatever happened to Nigeria happens to all of us. We need to fight the terrorism with all aspects of our energy, whatever we have.
These are human challenges, and they can be solved by human ingenuity. I pray for God to choose what is best for Nigeria so that we'll be a better, united, progressive, and exemplary country that is fair and just to everyone.
While in Kaduna, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu paid a courtesy visit on a renowned Islamic scholar, Sheikh Usman Bauchi, and appealed for more prayers for the country to overcome its challenges. In Kaduna, Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Participants of Senior Executive Course 44 of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, is interacting with the Ministry of Education with grassroots base across the country in assisting in carrying out their mandate. Musa Suleja reports.
Every year, the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies receives presidential mandate to conduct an in-depth research into areas of critical importance to the country's development. This year's assignment focuses on strengthening local government in Nigeria, challenges, options, and opportunities. Unarguably, having a presence in the entire local government across the country, the Minister of Education comes handy.
We are here to have an interactive session with you, find out much more from you about the challenges you face, the opportunities that exist for the ministry, and policy options that you would wish for us to present on your behalf to Mr. President.
Your efforts are bringing the matter to the front burner, especially during this period of constitutional amendment, is highly commended and will surely assisting in guiding the policy thoughts of government.
The Director Coordinating Office of the Permanent Secretary assured the participants of the needed support for the successful conduct of their research. Musa Suleja, NTA News.
And still on education, based on economic realities on ground, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, says the board has allowed privately owned computer-based test centers to charge 1,000 naira as against the 700 naira from candidates willing to participate in the 2022 UTME mock exercise. JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede, who stated this while fielding questions from journalists in Abuja, said no charge is attached for candidates taking the mock examination in JAMB's owned CBT centers, as it is free.
The examination, we have done the analysis of their expenses, and if we insist that they must put on their ACs and it means the cost of generator of diesel to be taken into consideration. We are not increasing our charges, despite the fact that the cost is going up. So we felt that we should not, if they are our partners and they want to, why we do the sacrifice? We cannot impose unrealistic sacrifice on our partners.
The mock examination affords UTME candidates the opportunity to familiarize themselves with the examination procedures. And away from education, the appointment of part-time chairman and members of the Board of National Insurance Commission has been approved by President Muhammadu Buhari. This appointment follows the expiration of the tenure of the former board. Those appointed are Dr. Abubakar Sani, chairman, Chief Barrister Robert Ohuoba, member, Messrs. Ijoma Chineye Ekocha, member, and Alhaji Muazu Barau, member. Based on the terms of appointment of the chairman and members of the board of the commission as stipulated in Section 3, Subsection 1 of the NAICOM Act 1997, they are expected to hold office for a period of 4 years. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has joined the leadership and members of the All Progressives Congress in congratulating Otumba Benga Daniel, former governor of Ogun State, on his 66th birthday coming up tomorrow. The president rejoiced with family members, friends and associates, both in business and politics, of the former governor who cut his teeth early in politics by being among the committee of friends of the late sage, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, and joining the Unity Party of Nigeria, UPN, in the 70s as a student. As the Otumba of Egba and Ijebu clans marks his 66th birthday, the president commends his courage, diligence and visionary leadership style, which has translated into better lives for many and supported major historic transitions like return to civilian rule in 1999. President Buhari praised for the well-being of the former governor and his family. In other news, the Network 1100 Roads projects of Inuwa Yahaya administration also include provision of roads in the state capital and the suburbs. Emmanuel Akila reports that during inspection of some of the ongoing township roads projects, Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya gave assurance of reaching all communities with infrastructure.
It is the turn of Idi, Angua Uku, Male Inna and Kagarawal communities within the state capital to have access roads in their areas, courtesy of the Network 1100 initiative. It is over 4 kilometers, with 320 million naira compensation paid to residents whose property are affected by the project.
It is a thing of joy to have development infrastructure like this road. May God help the governor in his duty of providing infrastructure and other dividends of democracy to us. We are happy about this road. It has helped decongest the area.
Governor Muhammad Inuwa Yahaya expressed satisfaction with the pace at which the township road projects are being executed, assuring of covering the state with infrastructure.
This road, inshallah, will go with street lights, will go with trees around so that they can beautify the environment and protect the environment as well. And equally, it will go with other social services like water. And we shall make sure we provide security because it has opened up the places so there will be movement of security agencies.
Amidst cheers, the governor proceeds to inspect completed road projects in Bolari quarters in the state capital. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
And from Gombe, we head to Lagos, where Hingano has the latest from that zone. Hingano, it's over to you.
Thank you, Ianre. The British High Commission in Nigeria is deepening and widening the financial sector through increase in investments, which will indirectly create domestic wealth and enhance job opportunities. Michael Olale reports that the financial sector deepening FSD Africa is driving the process in which response plans are geared to address specific demands.
One of the core mandates of the UK-funded Specialist Development Agency, FSD Africa, is to strengthen the capital markets to provide alternative means of funding businesses with the view of eliminating poverty across crucial sectors of the economy. The British Deputy High Commissioner to Nigeria believes the initiative will propel economic growth and stimulate investment in Nigeria, considering the determination and energy of the people to drive transformation.
So I'd set all of that in the context of our efforts to try and encourage economic growth and investment and trade in Nigeria. And really, we see a strong Nigerian economy as critical, not just for Nigerians, but frankly for our relationship with Nigeria, for trade and investment, for trade and investment in Nigeria.
The goal here is not just to provide capital for businesses, but building inclusion, create competition, while increasing prosperity.
There are many interesting and exciting routes to bring finance into the agricultural sector, not necessarily through the banks. So there are companies which have mechanisms for hiring out tractors, whereby people who have got money can invest on crowdfunding platforms for tractors.
There is an aspect of investment opportunity that we cater for insurance, and in fulfillment of this mandate, the group has been meeting with marketers to know areas of waste that could be profitably managed.
Developing local capital markets, for example, in local currency is a very big part of that strategy because it improves the long-term financing of those initiatives in appropriate instruments in the market.
In the interim, efforts are currently channeled towards building conversations around sustainable financing and insurance. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NT News.
The advent of digital age no doubt comes with various benefits from exposure to easy access to information. These digital gadgets were meant to explore positive experiences. Unfortunately, many have turned them to easy tools of destruction as the digital platforms are awash with negative vices on a daily basis. This is also making it difficult for parents to monitor the day-to-day activities of their wards. Diana Ajari, who sought the opinion of many, is set to tell us more.
In the 24th century, children were used to listening to tales in the classrooms, evening gatherings, watching television, playing football, or either fun games with their peers. Most of these fun games are derived from various African cultures, which promote positive bond between them and promote good moral values and respect for their parents as well as elders. But all this seems to be a thing of the past now, as the availability of different technologies, particularly the mobile phones, have changed the trend and mentality of the new age. How are the parents faring with the new normal?
A lot of things that we don't even know. Before you know, they browse it out from the phone, they bring it out for you. So, wow. Mommy ask God.
There's also need for parents to wake up and take on the responsibility of parenting.
What are the possible techniques parents need to adopt to be able to regulate the activities of their children and restore moral values in the digital era?
One of the ways that we can actually stem this tide is to reintroduce into our educational curriculum some aspects of it that have hitherto been destroyed, like moral instructions, like civic studies, like social studies, And very importantly, we must go back to teaching history.
It is what you teach them that they grow into. You know, they begin to use the internet to positively interrogate their space. You know, mathematics. Is mathematics difficult? What are the easiest way to learn mathematics? You can get it on Google.
Although the digital era has come to stay, the consensus here is that parents need to redouble efforts in ensuring that, despite the shifts, the rich African culture and moral values are retained for future generations. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on your website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. Time now for a break. The news continues shortly.
When you think of fruit juice and all the goodness that comes in it, think Chivita. It is many years of trust, quality, and all the goodness of fruit poured into one lovely pack, specially made for you. There is more to choose from. Whatever your preferences are, there is a Chivita for you. If you love an active life, or you just want to relax and unwind, if you are the cool dude, or simply want to try something refreshingly different, however you want it, there is a Chivita for you.
Oh,
Yes. Check out our new Chivita Smart Malt Drink. Energy to learn, energy to play. So, what's your Chivita?
It's been a long day, and nothing could feel better than sleeping comfortably. So relax. You won't be bothered by leakage or irritation tonight. Huggies Dry Comfort has a super fast dry layer that quickly absorbs wetness for all-night dryness and comfort. So baby can wake up comfy and dry as the night before. And you keep doing great, Mom.
Now in a new look pack, available from 650 Naira.
did you know that a quarter of the world's deaths from malaria is in Nigeria? And the reason being a mosquito that spreads malaria, a disease that puts everyone's life in distress. We believe that protection and prevention is the best cure in the fight to end malaria. Morphine insecticide with its improved formulation kills 100% mosquitoes that spread malaria. So spread the message of how we can fight to end malaria with Morphine. Morphine, our #1 choice.
Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep, tum-tum cooling breath.
Glad to have you back. Now time to talk business, and Benny is here.
Thank you, Inyere, and welcome to Business. Start by telling you that in line with the new policy on MSMEs, which accommodates key changes that occurred in the global socio-economic scene, the German Agency for International Cooperation, GIZ, as part of its work in more than 130 countries, is partnering the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDEN, in providing workable framework towards linking MSMEs to sources of finance, appropriate technology and technical skills, as well as providing access to industrial infrastructure such as layouts, incubators, and industrial parks under its Pro-Poor Growth and Promotion of Employment in Nigeria program.
Cosmetics in United States or e-commerce in Europe. And we work on policy level where we look on ease of doing business.
If we work on this thing, it will help in no small way in creating more employment opportunities and then reducing the level of poverty in our country.
And on the capital markets, investors gain 48,206 billion naira as all share index appreciated by 0.19% to close at 46,777.37 basis points. Market capitalization stood at 25.218 trillion naira. 257.413 million shares valued at 2.342 billion naira swapped hands in 4,410 deals. Market breadth closed negative as DNMEA led 18 gainers as against 20 losers. Fidelity Bank, Transcap and WAPIC were the most active to boost the market turnover. That is Business News. Network News continue in Makurdi with Susan. Susan, you can take it from here.
Thank you for joining us in Makurdi. The Benue State government has pledged its commitment to provide the necessary support to relevant authorities to ensure that peace and harmonious existence prevails at border communities in Benue and neighboring states. Deputy Governor of the state, Benson Abonu, gave the assurance when he received the delegation of the National Boundaries Commission led by its Director General, Adamu Adaji, in his office. Elias Sitiab.
Benue State has over the years grappled with the menace of interstate boundary disputes. Notable among them is a conflict between border communities of Benue and Ebonyi states. This ugly development has led to the loss of several lives, destruction of unquantifiable property, and displacement of thousands of people. The visit by the National Boundary Commission to the state is to entrench peace among border communities between the two states.
Want to see if we promote the people of the two states will see the oneness in them, the need for cooperation, and integrate, and allow peace to reign.
Deputy Governor Benson Abonu, who is also the chairman of the State Boundary Committee, regretted that the Benue-Ebonyi border crisis have persisted despite several efforts to bring the disputes to an end.
By the time you get the necessary information, you get reasons why the conflict is even there in the first place, and then carry out needs assessment, I believe you'll be in a very comfortable position to determine and even work out solutions to the crisis.
The delegation has 7 days to carry out its assignment. In Makurdi, Elias Etiaf, NT News.
Units under the Nigerian Air Force Tactical Command have been encouraged to intensify efforts in manufacturing of local equipment to reduce reliance on foreign technology. Chief of Standard and Evaluation Nigeria Air Force Headquarters, Air Vice Marshal Aliu Gayabelo, stated this at the 2022 Research and Development Competition held at the 131 Engineering Group, Air Force Base, Makurdi. Godwin Inaligu reports that units of the command competed at this year's event.
Before now, it has been the exclusive reserve of more developed nations to manufacture equipment for use by the country's military aircraft. It is to change this narrative that the Nigerian Air Force decided to promote local content through research and development and augment dependence on importation of technology. The competition witnessed the manufacture of equipment such as intruder detector alarm system, ground rocket launcher, molecular sieve battery insulator beads, among others. Chief of Standard and Evaluation, Air Vice Marshal Aliu Gayabelu, expressed satisfaction with the projects and challenged the groups to do more.
This competition was organized to motivate innovators and research outfits with a view to strengthening Nigeria's technological base as a veritable tool for national development.
That the more knowledge you acquire through available human resource, the more efficient the system will operate. The R&D structure in the NAV was created to enable participation by all specialties in the Nigerian Air Force.
Most outstanding units in the competition, which is now an annual event, were presented with awards. In Makurdi, Godwin Inaligu, NTA News.
And that's it from Makurdi. We now take a break, after which the news continues with Ian in
Effective tax collection for the workings of national economic growth is our focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Incisive and educative. Join us.
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque, please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayers. If we want a stable society before, during, and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back. For those who fail to link their national identification number to subscriber identification module, the frustration of not making calls can be better imagined. These defaulters are now scampering to update their SIMs and regain connection, but not without some challenges. Chimdima Undubisi gives us an update.
The days of grace are over, and the federal government's NIN-SIM policy implementation is in full force. Part of that policy states that those who fail to link their NIN to SIM will have their calls barred, but will receive calls. I'm here at one of the NIN enrollment centers, and this is the situation.
I've registered NIN before, and I lost my SIM for the past 3 weeks now. They said I have to recapture again. I recapture, they gave me this. And I become here every day. This morning, see where we line up.
The first of those people registered earlier. Yesterday, MTN barred one of my numbers. I came around, they said there's no network. Something you are supposed to do for 10 minutes, it will take you 10 hours, 10 days, 10 months.
Me here is to come and revalidate my card. So I have to link with other my SIM numbers. But I've written in the list that they brought out a plain sheet. They have been written, and they said they are taking to the office. How are we going to know that it has been rehabilitated?
62-year-old Daniel Dike, in his condition, wasn't also successful. He says he has been visiting the center weeks before the deadline elapsed. Officials of the National Identity Management Commission, Zone 3 branch, refused to speak or grant us access to the verification room to ascertain the true situation.
There are two ways of submitting your NIN for the SIM linkage. Either you submit it to the telecommunication provider, or you use the mobile app and then and submit your SIM. You are allowed to submit up to 7 SIM on the mobile app at a go.
Whether these issues will be resolved, which will lead to the ease of linking more NINs to SIMs in the coming days, is a question for another day, as some people are already lamenting the impact of the call barring on their businesses and other pressing engagements. In Abuja, Chimdima Undubisi, NTA News.
And now a bit of sports. Champions League hots up, and back home, Customs confirms superiority in Volleyball Super Cup. Olumide Eguntala is our guide.
Defending champions Kano Pillars Volleyball Club suffered second straight defeat at the ongoing Super Cup competition in Lagos. The team lost 0-3 to Offa Volleyball Club at 23-25, 22-25, and 16-25, among other results.
I expect them to do better than what they did. The most important thing now is at least they're able to win the game, and we'll take every team as they come.
Yeah, that's game, and to tell you that the game is improving.
In football, match day 21 of the Nigeria Professional Football League will take the center stage on Wednesday across various stadia of the Federation. In Ibadan, Shooting Stars will attempt to return to winning waves against Gombe United. Abia Warriors will lay ambush for Iniba Football Club at home. Akwa United will attempt to demonstrate how united they are at the home front of Kano Pillars. Same for MFM, that will play away to Remo Stars, among other matches. Now to grassroots football. The final phase of the Dodo Mayana Soccer-thon Under-13 football tournament ended Tuesday afternoon at the Mind Builders International School, Lagos. The football competition, which is the brainchild of former Super Eagles captain Peter Rufai, seeks to discover and develop talent from the school system. In the final match, host Mind Builders International School defeated the Unique International School via long goal to emerge champions.
And we are going to be monitoring these players from time to time to ensure that these players exported out are watched and impacted upon.
In the English Premier League, Wednesday fixture indicates that Burnley will host Everton. From the UEFA Champions League, first leg matches of the quarterfinals will be decided Tuesday and Wednesday night. On Wednesday, Chelsea and Real Madrid will meet at the knockout stage for the second consecutive season. Villarreal will face their toughest test in the competition against 2020 champions Bayern Munich. With sports updates,
leg matches as Liverpool beat Benfica 3-1, while Man City had a slight 1-0 win over Atletico Madrid. Had a 1-0 win over Atletico Madrid, and that's an update on sports. And the death has occurred in Jos of Hadia Hassana Aliyu Salihu Kerfi after a protracted illness. Aged 80 years, Hadia Hassana is survived by 8 children, 50 grandchildren, and 27 great-grandchildren, amongst whom are Sani Ibn Salihu, immediate past GM, NT Lafia, and Awalu Salihu, Executive Vice Chairman, Nasarawa Broadcasting Service. She has since been buried, according to Islamic injunctions. And that concludes NTA Network News tonight. Many thanks for watching. And just a quick reminder that NTA stands against rape and rapists. You should too. I'm Yen Ray John. Have a good night.